Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG, and Happy New Year as we start out 2024 on a high note, because what's a better way to start the new year than with new combos? That's right, we're going to talk about some of the best new two-card combos coming out of 23, blasting into 24 for all your sweet deck ideas. So, before we get started, don't forget comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out all the links in the description, eBay, TCG Player, all that good jazz. Sub up, subscribe, become a member, get free stuff, and all that other jazz. And we're on Rumble. Did I mention that? So, if you subscribe, it'll keep us sponsor free. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do some meal prep and feet pictures, and it's going to be bad for everybody involved. So, with all that said, let's get into some of the best two-card combos we found last year, in my opinion. So, here we go. We're going to start off with this bad boy, Ob Nixilis, the Captive Kingpin. He's got lots of combos. But in this particular one, red, black, and 2 for a 4/3. Flying Trample, like good old Flampler. Whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly one life, now that counts as damage, you put a +1/+1 counter on Ob Nixilis, Captive Kingpin, and then you exile the top card of your library until the end of your until your next end step. When you play, and you may play that card. So, we already know, I think it's all will be one, the red spell, that when you put counters on something, it deals damage. That's the easy one that you can combo with this. But there's another, and it's kind of funny. So, if you're ever feeling froggy, check out it with this card here. That's right, Shylea and Halar out of the Commander decks, white, green, and red, so you have to play a 4-color deck, but this is a 3/3 creature with flying and vigilance, white, green, red, and 3. It says whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, this card deals that much damage to target opponent. So basically, only thing that's got to happen is you get this little fella out, and then this one, or vice versa. And then once you deal 1 damage to somebody, you put a +1/+1 counter on this guy because he lost 1 life, so he triggers. And then this triggers because you put a +1/+1 counter on something. And you then deal this deals damage to any opponent equal to the number of +1/+1 counters, which is 1, which triggers this again, which puts +1/+1 counter on it, which triggers this again. You get on and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and anyway, so there's a sweet 2-card combo that will literally kill the entire table. And if they don't know what's coming, love of God, don't tell them, because it'll be funny. Let them learn a lesson the hard way. So, along with some other stuff that does it. Now, you can't play anything like in this particular combo, like hardened scales or whatever, because the minute you put 2 counters on it, you can trigger this only if it's losing 1, and this does as much damage as the number of counters. So if you're dealing 2, that's not 1, which kills the combo. So you can't use hardened scales or anything like that. But it is a pretty sweet combo, especially new, and can be used in Commander. So all you guys out there and shenanigans you got going on, hook it up and dial it up, because it's time to machine gun down the entire table. And make sure when you do, you say pew pew pew. Hey, I'm a poet and didn't know it. Anyway, moving on to our next combo, we have Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree. Not a real popular card. You get 3 colorless. For 2 colorless and tapping it, target opponent mills 3 cards. Put a land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. It gains if this land would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. So, can only do it once, but it's okay. It's not a Crucible of Worlds by any stretch of the imagination, but it'll do. Now, the cool thing about this card is down here where it says for 10, tap, sacrifice Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree, search your library for any number of Praetor cards, and put them on the battlefield, then shuffle. So, as we all know, Praetors are cool and very powerful. However, Trying to stay alive long enough in Commander so that this doesn't get you killed is probably going to be rough when all the Praetors cost at least 6 or more. And also it does say search your library, not your graveyard. However, if you're playing this bad boy right here, or should I say girl? Rakamura, blah, 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 the biologist. So it's 5 colors, so it's the Painbow. 3/3, and this is a human wizard, which is, when it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen creature type in addition to other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. 3 colorless tap, make a 1/1 colorless sliver. So, what that means is you play the Painbow here with this is your commander. Ramp yourself up to, let's say, 10 mana, and when you get this on the field, you say, instead of slivers or whatever, you say Praetor. And then maybe you play slivers, maybe you don't. Maybe you just play a whole deck full of good stuff and not play slivers at all. Because every creature in your deck, after you play that, is now a Praetor. So you can sacrifice this for 10 and put your entire deck of creatures on the battlefield. And one of those creatures just needs haste. And it is game over for the entire table. Because if one of your creatures has haste and gives all your creatures haste, it is game on for beatdown downtown when your entire deck gets flipped onto the game table and they're all Praetors. So, real cool combo there. Matter of fact, you could combine this little combo, since this is the Painbow, with this and this and this as part of your 99. So I've just gave you 4 cards that you could put into your deck with this as your commander and give you a 2-card kill 2 different ways. And I'm sure there's more ways to go as we keep hunting more of the sweetest and coolest 2-card combos to come up here recently. So, while we're on the Painbow, let's talk about the next hot 2-card combo people have been using. And it's pretty funny. It's Wondervine Prophets from Morrowind? What? Wow. So, apparently I did not turn off the Xbox soon enough. I've got it on the brain. Lorwyn. Wow. That does sound familiar. I wonder. Anyway, Wonderwine Prophets. 2 blue and 4 for a 4/4 champion of Merfolk. So when this comes into play, you have to sacrifice it. You sacrifice it unless you remove another Merfolk you control from the game. When this leaves play, that card returns to play. It is a bit much for a 6/6 to get a 4/4. But if you're playing a Merfolk deck, if you don't have a Merfolk on the table when you play this, you're probably already losing. Just going to put that out there. Now it says, whenever Wonderwine Prophets deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a Merfolk. If you do, take an extra turn after this one. So there may be some shenanigans that you might have to pull out of this to make sure this guy can connect. But if he can connect, you can start sacrificing Merfolks to take turns. Now, I know I said infinite combo, so how is this an infinite combo if you run out of creatures to cast? Well, that's simple. You find another way to make creatures. Like this card. Deep Root Pilgrim. Straight from Ixalan, a blue and a colorless, or Deep Root Pilgrimage, sorry. Blue and a colorless enchantment. It says, whenever one or more non-token Merfolk you control become tapped, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. So, what I'm saying is you basically swing with this. Because it becomes tap, it makes a 1/1 Merfolk. You then connect with this. You then sacrifice a 1/1 Merfolk that you made to take an extra turn. You then untap. You swing with this. You make a 1/1 Merfolk. Hit the person. Take another turn. Yada, yada, yada. And the best thing about this, you only have to protect this card because this card has hexproof. So they can't zap it out of the way. And to be honest, if they are killing anything, they should be killing this monstrosity. before it gets up and going. So there's that. And again, can be played in the Painbow that we just saw. So you could play the Painbow with all kinds of 2-card combos to just upset your table left and right in Commander. And what better way to start out the new year than with a resolution to make everybody at your play table hate your existence? Or is that not what we're doing? It's not? People supposed to like to play with you. Because if they don't like you, they won't play with you. Well, that's overrated. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate it. Happy New Year. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. And you shitheads better not be pulling this crap on me. I won't be having it.